How can we overcome the habit of negative thinking? And how can we address this issue with the younger generation? Negative thinking is a complex phenomenon influenced by our egos. Why do we indulge in negative thinking? Well, it often serves to reinforce our egos and can involve the pain body as well. The pain body thrives on reactions from others, which the ego and pain body intentionally provoke. It seeks to replenish itself by feeding on drama or even on our own solitary negative thoughts. Every negative thought further entrenches this cycle. For instance, we might think, "My life is a mess. How could things get any worse? I despise these people who seem to have a liking for negativity. Why do bad things always happen to me? It's just my luck. I can never seem to get things right, while others effortlessly succeed. And what about that terrible thing I did 20 years ago? I can't forgive myself. What will tomorrow bring? I have no clue. What should I say if someone confronts me? If I lose my job, I'm certain I'll end up on the streets, unable to pay my mortgage." I'm trapped in this cycle. On one level, we develop an addiction to these negative thoughts. There's a part of us that is reluctant to let go of this way of thinking. To address it, we need to have a certain degree of awareness when these thoughts arise. We must be able to observe the negative thinking patterns and recognize that we are actively engaging in them and finding a strange satisfaction within them. Anger, another form of negative emotional state, can demonstrate this clearly. If we try to help an angry person let go of their anger, we may encounter resistance. The person might not want to release their anger and relishes in it while they are in its grip. The ego feeds off that anger, as it inflates the ego and gives a sense of power, even to someone who may otherwise feel insignificant in the world. You may have witnessed individuals shouting angrily at others on the street, their ego trip in full swing. Even in those situations, approaching them with peace and advice is often met with resistance. This presupposes that the person is aware of their state of mind at that moment. Hence, there needs to be some level of awareness, which I believe you possess since you are asking these questions. When negative thoughts arise, you can notice that there is a part of you that derives enjoyment from them, not the awareness itself, but the part that is resistant to letting go. This resistance may have become deeply ingrained over the years, becoming an integral part of your identity. Some people carry this negative mental and emotional state in the background almost constantly, yet remain unaware of it. It becomes a defining aspect of their personality. Sensing the undercurrent of negativity in such individuals is possible, especially for those who are sensitive. They always seem to be on the lookout for the next reason to be angry or to hold grievances. The internet has provided a platform for these individuals to express their ego-driven complaints, giving the ego a new means of expansion. Anyone can go online and find a cause to express their grievances. Hence, their identity becomes closely associated with this negativity. When there is awareness, you can observe the enjoyment derived from these negative states. Simultaneously, you can recognize that the mind's activities are futile and serve no purpose whatsoever. This realization prompts the question, what is the purpose of these thoughts? Do they change the world or improve anything? Or do they simply entangle me further in this negative spiral? There is an unconscious belief in the mind that if we complain enough, either internally or aloud, things will eventually change. We have seen how this belief manifests in children. When they become extremely unhappy and start screaming, they often receive attention from their parents, who inquire about the problem. Before the outburst, they may have received no attention at all. However, once they express their unhappiness, their parents react. Thus, children learn that unhappiness works to get what they want. If this lesson is repeated throughout childhood, the adult mind continues to hold this unconscious belief and periodically enters states of unhappiness, expecting things to change. However, this strategy may work for a child because their parents can't tolerate the screaming, but it is ineffective for adults. Unfortunately, some adults never realize this and continue to employ this strategy for the rest of their lives, unaware that it is futile. Recognizing that negative thinking and unhappy states do not contribute to positive change is crucial. In fact, they often worsen the situation. With heightened awareness, you can choose to question whether you want to continue indulging in these thoughts. Is it helpful or beneficial to cling to them? What would the situation be like without them? This awareness grants you the power of choice. In some moments, you may be able to step out of the negative stream of thoughts and simply be present. However, eliminating these thoughts completely is not easy since they have likely become deeply rooted. Shortly after one negative thought subsides, another may arise, accompanied by a strong pull towards negativity. It feels familiar and seems to define who you are. In these instances, awareness is crucial. You cannot fight the negative states because that only perpetuates the negativity. Instead, you can be fully present and aware, recognizing the futility of these states and acknowledging your addiction to them. When you observe this, you are no longer completely consumed by the addiction. Complete addiction occurs when you lack awareness and you identify solely with the ego, the addicted aspect that thrives on unhappiness. Therefore, it's essential, as I mentioned earlier, to pay attention to small children and provide them with attention during regular moments, rather than waiting for them to reach a screaming or tantrum state. Excessive attention during negative episodes is also unhelpful. Instead, it's better to offer immediate attention or to avoid giving in altogether. If you believe that denying their demands is best, it's important to avoid rewarding their negative behavior by eventually giving them what they want. This lesson would teach them the wrong message. Ultimately, awareness allows you to recognize the satisfaction derived from negative thinking, the pointlessness of such thoughts, and the addiction that underlies them. With this awareness, you gain the ability to make a choice and shift your perspective. Negative thinking no longer holds the same power over you, and you can begin to explore life without being bound by these patterns.